get wild. How a power suit can ruin your life. Red hair, one stare, and suddenly you're rewatching X-Files every night. Gillian said, trust no man. Kate said, try women instead. She wasn't out, but my heart was in. Rachel with a sword, that was my origin. Ain't it strange how the canon forgot all the tension, all the heat, all the looks? We saw it, we felt it, we paused it, we yelled it. She saved the world, but wrecked our brain. She raised the dead and sparked our flame. She wasn't loud, but she was loud, and now we're saying it proud. That's so Sapphic.
Hello everyone, welcome back to That's So Sapphic podcast. I'm Alexi Melvin. And I'm Jane Postlethwaite. Welcome to part 2 of our deep dive into Gillian Anderson. Let's dive. Let's dive. If you haven't dove into part 1, please go and listen to part 1 and then come back to part 2. It doesn't really matter. You could listen to this one and then the other one. But it might make more sense because we left on a cliffhanger.
A bit. It was a very important one. Had to do with the blouse, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. We're on the cliff edge and we are thinking about Stella Gibson in the fall, the silk blouse.
What kind of a hold does that silk blouse have on an entire generation of Saphics? A couple generations. It's like, what was that? I mean, whoever the wardrobe person for that show really deserves a Lifetime Achievement Award from the Sapphic community.
I wonder if they got an award for wardrobe. They might have done. I should look it up.
I mean, that was...
How many do you think they had? How many do you think Stella Gibson had as that character?
How many silk blouses?
How many? Because it can't have been the same one, even though it felt like the same one.
There were many, and there were variations. I remember a more like off-white one. I remember a more kind of like pale pink one.
Yeah, I remember that one.
So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna guess like, I don't know, over the course of how many seasons? That's a lot.
I think I told you this last time we spoke. I rewatched The Fall for research, obviously, and so they did season 1, season 2, gripping, exciting. Season 3. Drags. And what happens in season 3 is the daughter is 20. She was 5 in the first
and then
2 seasons.
20.
Now she's 25. Yeah. And then the blouses go. There's no silk blouses. She wears a black one. Or like black. Yeah. I didn't see any of the sexy silk blouses in season 3.
Okay, I need to rewatch season 3 clearly because I don't remember that.
It drags on and on.
Not the dragging, but the lack of blouse.
Oh yes, that's what I mean. Yeah.
It's so disappointing.
Like it's obviously they thought about it, and it's the season where she doesn't need to be sexy anymore because we're already on board. She's naturally sexy.
Yeah,
the blouse doesn't need to add to it. We're there. And the character also is, the character changes. Not that she wasn't confident before, but she is like the boss now.
Maybe they, the powers that be with that show were like, oh my gosh, she's actually like unaliving Saphics at this point. Like they're not well. Maybe we need to dial it back with
the blood.
Yeah, like they're not doing good. The Saphics can't handle it.
Because in the first series, I think she's brought in, isn't she, as a like consultant, and she's in a hotel. She doesn't think she's going to be there for very long, but she's managed to pack these immaculate blouses. Another thing as well, like it's a sweaty job. It was a stressful. Not one sweat stain. I would have wrecked that blouse in an hour. That blouse has to be burned because I have sweat through it.
I also love how you had to lean into the mic when you said that.
I know. I'm sweating into. I've got a Gillian Anderson t-shirt on, and I'm sweating into that. So can you imagine the silk? I probably have rings around my boobs, under boob sweat.
Sure. So maybe there was a level of like, this just is not realistic. Yeah. I mean, she has to sweat. We all sweat. We didn't see any.
She didn't sweat once.
Any indication of that.
No.
But
Give us a sweaty Gillian Anderson. They gave us a wet one. They put her in water. She was in a swimsuit. So maybe that's when she was sweating in the water. So she did all the sweating. I feel like we need to ring the wardrobe person immediately. Like, what was going on with the blouses?
Honestly,
how many were there in the dressing room? Because I'm imagining a lot.
We need to have them on for sure.
And where are they? What are they doing now? And how can we each get one?
Like ones that Gillian wore? Yeah.
Alexi. Like,
just check it. I mean, like, there's a lot that I would do for one of those blouses. I was just making sure. There's a lot I would do. There's not much I wouldn't do for one of those blouses.
Auction the blouses. Auction.
I hope they haven't been dry cleaned. I hope they had the foresight to not touch them.
Seal them up like a crime scene.
Yes.
You know, all those cameramen were like, I'm having one of those blouses.
I mean, again, I understand.
But yeah, I'm going to do some research for this podcast about the blouses. I'm going to reach out to some people and see what happened.
Me too. Between the two of us, we've got to find answers.
Are they in England? Are they in America? Are they in Ireland? We don't know. They need to be in a museum immediately.
Yeah. There could be a whole Gillian Anderson museum where there could be like Dana Scully costumes, Stella Gibson costumes. There could be, I mean, like sex education.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many. I mean, it could fill up an entire, like, yeah, it could come to New York. It could be in London. People would come.
It's the traveling museum. Let's get it going. Let's snap up everything we can. We can have the Gillian Anderson t-shirts, but we can have the exhibition. It's on the road.
Yes, and then
we'll get a tour bus. We will. We're going to make so much money.
And then when she found out that it was me behind it, she'd be like, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds a restraining order.
No, I think she'd be like, that's correct.
That's correct.
That sounds correct.
I feel like you could reach out to her and ask her. I think she would reply to you.
I'll try. I'll do my best.
Do it for the podcast.
You never know with Gillian. She, could be hit or miss, but I think she
was auctioning off something, wasn't she? She was auctioning something at the talk she did a few weeks ago in London. I saw there was
oh my gosh, she did. It was her and it was who was the other person on stage? It was Carrie Mulligan. I think it was Carrie Mulligan.
Okay.
Right? And it was a shirt. It was like one of the shirts that I can't remember what the shirt was for, but she was like, we're going to lick it. And so she licked the shirt and then had they both licked the shirt.
Like a brown shirt. It wasn't very exciting.
I can't remember what the shirt looked like. I just remember her licking a shirt. And I was yes, this content is for me. So that was, that she knows what she's doing. That was a stroke of genius.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you watch all of The Fall when it came out? Were you I don't know whether you got it in America straight away. Was it something that was like billed, or did you find it because it had Gillian in it? How did it come across your TV?
My friend Sarah, who's one of my best friends, she told me about it. She was a little more into, I don't know how she found it, but it had just sort of come to America, I think. And at that point I didn't really have that much of a thing for Gillian Anderson. I think I had like somewhat appreciated her here and there. But Sarah, bless her, was like, you need to watch this show. If somebody tells me you need to watch this show, I think you're going to appreciate this character. Yeah. Trust me. And I was going through a little bit of a phase. I can't remember how old I was. I was like fairly young, but I think I was going through a phase where I was like, I'm never going to date again. There's nothing for me, like I don't even feel anything anymore. It's like, there's just no hope because like I'm gay and there's no opportunity for me anywhere. I don't know. I was just very like, pessimistic about the whole thing.
You were dead inside.
I was a little like dead inside. Yeah. And then I started watching The Fall and I was like, I have awoken. I am awake. It was like a whole other, I already knew I was gay, but it was, I was awakened once again.
A reminder.
Yeah,
got you back on track.
I was so on track, even more so than before.
I mean, obviously I wasn't out then. I knew I was bi, but yeah, there was magical things as soon as she came on the screen.
Yes.
And then it's like, oh, the accent. Okay. Oh. And like all the men were kind of weak around her.
I don't even know if that was the intention. I think she just is. She just shows up and all the men are like, who? I'm going to shrink. That's like, we have no shot. compared to
Yeah.
whatever has just walked in.
Her and Sad Badger, police officer, just, I was like, oh God, here's Sad Badger again. Watch it. And you're like, he is a sad badger.
He really is. He has sad eyes. And again, like he's in love with her. He represents a lot of us in a way.
Yeah. But yeah, he's not us. This is personal for us to talk about Gillian's past relationships, but hasn't she been married 3 times, or she's had like 3 serious relationships? Why are these men not still married to her?
Well, we have to assume that it was her choice then.
Okay, I like that.
Right? Because what human being in their right mind would choose to end? I'm sorry, there's nobody.
Yeah, what are you doing? The other thing about season 3, which is kind of annoying, the kind of sapphic hint of lesbianism.
There wasn't a hint. There was a lip lock. A couple.
There was some kissing, and then there was nearly a bedroom scene, but it didn't quite get
nearly. That
character not even mentioned in season 3.
I was very upset with how that all. Again, this is so unrealistic. If Gillian's like, "Hey, come up to my hotel room," for any reason, to be honest, but
any reason just to check out the view.
Sure. Do you need the room service removed from your room? What can I do?
Do you need some little mini shampoos?
Can I bring you covered? I don't work here, but I can work here. You tell me. Yeah. Like there was a very suggestive, like they kissed. It was like they were into it. They're about to go, spoiler, so sorry, whatever. They're about to go up, and then
it's like 10 years ago, you should have watched it.
Yes. They're about to go up to our hotel room, and the other character, Archie Punjabi, is like, "I'm sorry, I can't." And it's like, you can't what? Is it, I mean, do you have a family? Like, do you just remembered you had a family? Like, I would have just forgotten all about them.
I think she has 2 kids. I think that's mentioned. I don't think she's in a relationship.
I don't condone adultery. And if you just have the 2 kids and you're not cheating on your person, like,
yes,
what's the issue?
What's the issue?
That's so unrealistic. It never would have happened. It never would have happened.
I mean, they gave her the motorbike. They gave her the motorbike leathers. They give her a helmet. She gets off the motorbike. That's how we get introduced to that character, Archie's character.
Yep.
And they don't follow through with it. Maybe they thought we don't. I mean, they didn't have to show us things. They could have just alluded to it, or just been, just a door, please don't disturb sign put on the door.
Sure. I mean,
house on the doorknob,
or the silk blouse just thrown aside somewhere.
Yeah, that's what we see, the silk blouse, and we're like,
we'll get it. Of course, would have preferred the whole shebang.
Mm-hmm.
At least give us that narrative. Like if it's awkward the next day, if it's like a weird work situation, then like, okay, fine. Just why could they not have just given us that?
Yeah, awkward situation at the autopsy.
Yes,
the crime scene. Do it. Life's too short.
It's too short.
I mean, everyone was obsessed about Jamie Dornan.
I don't really care.
It is Dornan. So this was kind of his breakout role, and he is very feminine looking.
Mm-hmm. He does have very pretty features.
And he is Irish, so it matched. I mean, I was dragged to 50 Shades of Grey when it came out, and it's the worst film I've ever seen.
Yeah, not a fan.
My life. Was not a fan of the books. Just went with my friend on Valentine's Day because we were both single and we thought it'd be funny. And it wasn't funny. And he sucked.
Yeah.
Even Dakota Johnson sucked in that film. The whole film sucked.
Yeah. You would think that like it would at least be a fun thing to like laugh through or like hate watch or whatever. But it's like, it's just so bad that you can't even do that.
And I feel sorry for him because because they signed up for 3 films. And I know after the first film, he did not want to carry on.
Yeah.
But the fall for him is his peak. He's so good that, you get to know him as this creep and stalker and everything, and then goes back to the house where his daughter's there. And you're like, the whole show is very powerfully written. Mm-hmm. So I wonder if they had Gillian in mind when they're like, okay, Stella Gibson, who could we have? Like, it's just so perfect.
Yeah. Well, again, it also makes sense because, his character kind of develops this fascination with her, like this hyperfixation on her. And of course, again, lesbians are like,
yeah. Powerful, strong women. He hated women in power. I can't remember how I do remember it finishes though, because I think I just watched it and we had a Zoom and then I was pretty distressed because I just watched it.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Season 3, if you're making your way through it, after like 3 episodes, it picks up again. But yeah, it's quite powerful. But they didn't need to drag it on that long. It could have been wrapped up in season 2, in my opinion. But they gave us more Gillian, so
Exactly.
thanks.
Like that's never going to be a complaint on my end.
I think what other films? So after that, I think she did Sex Education. I've never watched it.
You
Have you
didn't?
watched it? No.
I did. I'm clearly having a hard time developing an opinion here. I liked it. It was a lot. Like, it was a lot of sort of the young, like, sexual exploration vibes, which is like fine. Like, that needs to exist. I get it. I mean, I loved her. She was, she was kind of like the sex therapist mom. And yeah, she was brilliant. She's brilliant. It is worth watching just for her character, for sure. And then, I think, and then it made so much sense that she went on to do the book Want, which we can definitely get into. But
Let's get into it.
That was very on brand for, like, Jean Milburn was her character. Yeah, 'cause it was very, like, diving into things that, people don't want to name, people don't want to talk about. Like, it's so her book Want is a collection of female fantasies, anonymous, so they can submit, like, just things that they felt shame around speaking about publicly or with their partner, or, just never talked about before. Some of them are sapphic, some of them aren't. But yeah, and then she's doing a sequel to that.
Oh. Yeah, I saw she was working on something like that.
Yeah.
Is one of your stories in it?
No, I never did. You did
a video and you're like, you'll never guess which one's mine. And I'm like, is that one of Alexi's?
Yeah, I don't know. And people, of course, made the joke of like, oh, if they're all going to be about Gillian, like, that doesn't need to be anonymous. You know what I mean? Like, that's not a secret. Yeah. And then my whole thing about when I met her was at a book signing for Want here in New York City.
Yeah. So for someone who doesn't know, how did that come about for you? You'd already been making videos with the, like, screen time, FaceTime videos?
Yes. So I started making these kind of reaction videos to her videos where I would kind of, like, split up whatever she was like, because she'll do these very cute, like, talking to the camera just about nothing kind of videos. So I would, do me sort of interspersed with her as if we were FaceTiming. So it was like FaceTime with Gillian. One of them she saw and she commented on and she liked, and she said, we'll always have New York. And because, like, the video was kind of as if I was in New York and she was in London or whatever. Because she's my long distance girlfriend. Anyway.
Yes.
So she responded to that. And then I guess from there, her drink brand G-Spot found me and, like, started following me, and reposted another video I had done when I was in London and found G-Spot. And so then when I heard she was doing a book signing here, I had a publicist at the time who reached out to her people and was like, hey, is it possible that Alexi could have like a moment with her? They said yes, or Gillian said yes. And I was like, what?
Did you have the panic?
Oh my God, such a panic. And I didn't even have that much time to prepare. It happened, like, I want to say, like, the day before. And I was just going to go and I was just going to, like, make content from afar. But they responded and they were like, yeah, we can figure that out. She would love to. So yeah, I get there, and, like, by the way, I have never been recognized so much in my life. And it was because I got there and everybody there knew my content. Not everybody, but a lot of, enough where I was like, this is amazing. And so, her people kind of had said, like, it's probably going to have to happen afterwards, just hang tight, whatever. I was like, okay. So, she did the reading, and then she was going to do the book signing, and I was, you go by section and whatever. And so my section gets called and be a person, and I go up, and, like, they kind of, she recognizes me before I even get to her, and she goes, hello. And I was like, so I suppose I'm infamous at this point? And she was like, yeah. Like, and she had her American accent because she tends to, that's another thing. She switches, she, like, code switches with the British accent, American accent. I mean, it's so much. I have it on video somewhere. It's a blur, but I essentially just said, like, she said, what you do brings people a lot of laughter and joy. And I was like,
yeah.
And there's, like, video of her just, like, beaming at me, and just like it just felt so amazing to just be perceived by her, which I thought was going to be terrifying.
Yeah.
She was fantastic. And she said, wait around after. Well, let's, just wait for me after. I was like, I will wait as long as it takes. I will wait until the end of time. And so, yeah, I waited and I got to, I just kind of like tried not to be creepy, just like watching her sign everybody else's book. And then afterwards she stood up and like everybody else had kind of gone. It was like me and my friend Sarah was actually with who had told me about the fall. So it was very
cool. Yeah.
So after everybody else had kind of gone, Gillian gets up and walks toward me and she goes, "So what did you have in mind?" And I was like whatever, I don't know, like everything, every kind of like, I just couldn't speak.
Yeah.
But I was like, "Oh, like just like something for the Sapphics, And she goes, "The what?" And then she like kind of kept walking closer to me as she was saying this. And I was like, and I was about to repeat myself. And she goes, "Oh, the Sapphics." I stopped living. The way she said it, I stopped living. And so she's like, "Okay, yeah, like we can figure something out. Come with me." So I followed her to her like dressing room area.
And your friend filmed that, didn't she?
Walking behind her going,
Yeah.
"Yep, here we go. Wherever you lead, I will follow." And so we went back to her just like dressing room area. And she was like, we kind of started talking more about like what I had in mind or like the vibes. And she goes, "Okay, give it to me." And I was like, "Yes, ma'am." And she took my phone and just did like, she was kind of filming herself. And then I could see what she was going for was like the FaceTime aspect, but like we're actually in the same room. So she was like, "This is me and that's her. And this is me and that's her." And I was like, I didn't see it coming. So my reaction was kind of funny. But yeah, so we did that. And then she gave me like all kinds of swag from G-Spot and her book. Oh my gosh, I think, one of the lovely women that worked for G-Spot there, she was like, she said something about the video that I had done or whatever. Gillian goes, "I remember that one." And I went, "You do?" And she's like, "Yeah, I've seen most of your videos." I was like, oh my, okay. So Gillian is a little bit of a lurker on social media.
I think if you include any celebrity, they see it. Of course they see it.
I don't know. I mean, of course, it's like, it depends. Like, how many followers are we talking about? Like, it's easy for things to get lost in the shuffle and they don't see it, but there's a good possibility.
Yeah, I mean, our people will have seen it as well. Like, it gets back to them. That's so amazing, though. Is that like the best day of your life so far?
It was one of them. I was up there.
I would have been panicking so hard.
Yeah, it's funny because I think so much of my content is like, it's a bit of a shtick, you know what I mean? Because like I am fully like, gay panicking and like worshiping these women and acting like they're like, and yes, they are. They're spectacular. They're like, I'm on my knees for them. But at the same time, when you get in a room with somebody who's just a person, they're just a person. And I've never I was nervous for sure. But once I started interacting with somebody who's very much just a human being, it really, I really wasn't panicking. That I wasn't like,
yeah,
it was exhilarating because she is who she is. But I was fine. And like, she's great.
Yeah. And that's when you realize how short she was.
I was prepared a little bit. I was prepared beforehand because I think I had Googled it. I was like, wait, I think I was like maybe watching something and she seemed a little shorter than I had thought. And I was like, wait, how tall is she? So I Googled it and I was like, okay. So yeah, there's a photo of me having to kind of like crouch down a little bit, like, cause my friend got a photo of us doing the TikTok and I'm like fully like crouching down a bit.
Did you ever, because I was just looking through her CV of what she's done, did you ever watch Hannibal? I think I watched like one series of it because she was a psychiatrist or psychologist in that.
That is the one that I feel like, I don't know why I was just never moved to watch that show. I mean, she's enough of a reason for sure. But yeah, I didn't. Maybe that's something we need to both do.
And it was around about the time The Fall came out as well. So it's 2013 to 2015. So it'd be quite interesting to see how that character differs from Stella Gibson. Because I think the character in Hannibal, I think she falls for him.
Yes.
Knowing all his horrible secrets. I didn't watch The Crown. I didn't see her in that. I did watch The Scoop, which is the interview with Prince Andrew. That was really good. I enjoyed that. But yeah, I don't think anything since has topped The Fall.
No, but she does. I mean, I did watch her as Margaret Thatcher just because it's a masterclass. You know how like Meryl Streep can just like play anybody and like be a comedian. It's like she's borderline like just as good. It's crazy how she was able to adopt that.
She was in The Crooked House as well. That was my favorite, one of my favorite Agatha Christie's.
Okay,
Crooked House. Years ago, I did a acting diploma probably like 14 years ago. And obviously after you get sent out to auditions. So I went to an audition and it was for St. John's Ambulance commercial. And I had to pretend to be a mum with 2 kids, and they're like, okay, you got to tell your children that their dad's got cancer. I was like, great. All my roles are
Great.
comedy. So
Yes.
I'm like trying to get in the mood because it's like the money's good. So this little girl who's next to me puts her finger in her mouth, gets water on it, and dabs it under her eyes so it looks like she's crying.
Mm-hmm.
And in that moment, I was like, no, I just got the ick. Didn't get the part. Wonder why.
Fair.
Years later, watching The Crooked House, the bloody kid in that is the same kid
Wow, what a twist.
on set with Gillian Anderson. She plays like a 90s actress, like failing actress. She's got a black wig on and she's smoking and she's drinking all day. She's like a lush. I think you'll enjoy it.
I'm so surprised this got past me somehow.
Yeah, The Crooked House, Agatha Christie, brilliant film. It's one of my go-to films because there's such a massive twist at the end. But the sets are amazing. That's my era that I love. Yeah, because they're all the family are in this big manor house and all the rooms are different.
Ooh, great cast.
Yeah, so I think you'll really enjoy that. There's a few films there that I have not seen and didn't even know existed.
I'm sure that there's going to be some Sapphic that yells at us for not mentioning some.
I know, but if you want to yell at us, email us with your recommendations because we want to hear. If she's in something else and she's fabulous, let us know.
Us not watching Hannibal is going to be a real problem because there's a lot of edits, on like TikTok.
Really? Maybe I need to edit that.
I think I'm going to because the edits are hot.
I did get really bad nightmares from watching The Fall. It made me easy because that was crime podcasts as well. I get it's like bad energy and it stays with you. It's not high vibes. I think Hannibal
you kind of have to see
quite
headspace.
Graphic, if I remember.
American Gods. She was in American Gods. Yes. Also in that was Kristen Chenoweth, and they were like in scenes together, I believe. Kristen's another one of my she's my girl.
Okay.
So she was very happy when I met Gillian.
Yeah.
I don't know, she gets a kick out of it. And for anybody who doesn't know, Kristen Chenoweth was the original Glinda in Wicked on Broadway. And then she's been in many other things on, film and TV and theater. Yeah, she was in American Gods with Gillian. That was a good show. That was cool.
Yeah, let's talk about the accents as well. Because I never knew she had the two. Which do you prefer?
Wait, before I answer that, The Spy Who Dumped Me. I've never seen this film, but Kate McKinnon has a scene in it. I'm sure you've seen this scene.
Someone sent me it the other day and said, can you do this? I was like, do what? What am I supposed to do with this scene? They're like, can you do this for TikTok? And I was like, I don't know how to do that for TikTok.
I've reacted to it, but it's like, what? Yes, Kate just said everything she just said it all. What are we supposed to say? She's literally just like, you are a goddess walking among these halls. This is your boss. She's just like completely like wants Gillian to run her over with a tractor. Like same vibes.
I think that's an influence from The Fall because that film came a few years after. I think that's a little bit of a callback to that.
Yes. So that scene is all I think that matters in that film. But anyway, okay, going back to the accent. Which do I prefer? I think I've just grown so accustomed to her British accent because it's
me too.
First of all, Stella. And Stella had such an impression on me. Mm-hmm. And then she just kind of uses it more now because she lives in London. So you kind of just I don't know, I've gotten used to it. So it is a little jarring when she comes to America and starts with that. And that's how she was speaking to me. And I was like, whoa, American Gillian. But they're both hot in their own ways.
I wonder if she makes a mental note to do it or whether it just happens.
I don't think she needs to make a mental note. She knows where she is. She's just like, okay, now we're in America.
She knows who she is. She knows where she is. She knows what she's doing.
Yeah. She does. Yeah. She very much. Yes.
There was a Diva article which had some fun facts about Gillian. So I thought I could read them to you. High school, she was voted most bizarre and most likely to be arrested.
We love that. I wonder if she has been arrested.
Well, that's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Being too damn hot.
That's what I would arrest her for.
Yeah.
It's true.
That blouse is a crime against lesbians' mental health.
Correct.
In 1997, She got 3 awards, an Emmy, a Golden Globe, and a SAG award.
For what?
X-Files. She named her dog Stella, which was a combination.
I did know that.
Yeah, so it was kind of named after Stella Gibson, the character in The Fall, and Stella from Streetcar.
Oh my gosh, I just have to say how devastated I am that I have not seen her on stage in a show.
Yeah.
Because I do have, somebody sent me the link to like watch Streetcar. Not the same as being there in person, but
yeah.
Her performance in Streetcar was a tour de force. Like I need to see her on stage. It's bucket list for my life.
Exactly. She's received an OBE, which is an Order of the British Empire, which is pretty special. So I think, is that when you're a knight, an OBE? Like a knighthood? It's something in the royal family, which is a big deal. I should know more being English, but Empire. Old-fashioned, is that the British Empire? Okay, I think that wraps up episode 2, Gillian. I don't feel like this is going to be the end. This is not all we've got to say about this, but for now, this is episode 2. I'm sure we're going to get a lot of mail, as in Gmail, email, about this.
Yes.
And DM.
Gmail. Gillian.
Yes. We don't have that brand of supermarket around here. I need to like get to Manchester or something. Yeah,
you could order it.
I could order it. I've got like a voucher for 15% off my first order. Which ones are the best?
I like Lift. It's the one in the red can. I like the taste the best, and it also just gives you a little bit of a midday energy boost. Of course, I'm a fan of Arouse because hello. They're nice. They're really nice. I mean, there's not one flavor that I don't like.
I wish there'd been kombuchas because I love a kombucha. I just found these in my local supermarket, which I had in Edinburgh last year all the time. Gillian Anderson kombucha. I mean, that's such a lesbian drink. But then she's reinvented the drink. She's inventing G-Spot.
Right. So this is just a gentle suggestion to G-Spot to do the Gillian Anderson kombucha because gay.
Do that, gay. And if you want us to do like a taste test, then we'll take a crate each. If you're listening, Gillian's people, because I suspect
you can do any kind of
anything you
want.
We'll
do a G-Spot taste test right now. I mean, like let's do it.
We would.
I don't have them currently. But if you want to send us G-Spot, we will do a live taste.
Oh, be ideal. If that doesn't happen, we should just do that anyway. As soon as I get some,
we should just do it anyway.
Yeah,
I'll order some. I've ordered some many times.
Let's do some questions that we've been sent in.
Yeah, I've got a couple here. The one that made me laugh, does it involve Cate Blanchett and Gillian Anderson?
Does our podcast involve...
I'm pretty sure we answered half of that question just now over the past 2 episodes.
Who's Cate Blanchett? Joke.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to check her out.
We're the experts. We should get a PhD in Gillian Anderson and Cate Blanchett. But yes, of course. Like, who else are we going to talk about?
I mean, we have some options, but
we have a list, but they're top of our list.
There are pillars. Yes. Okay. So the other question was, how does a Sapphic curious woman discover her authentic attraction and desire? You could watch The Fall.
Watch The Fall.
Period.
Get some mood lighting, get comfortable.
Genuinely, that is my advice. But what else? I mean, just get out there, like see what the vibes are. Like really pay attention to the type of energy that kind of like, because it's really, I do think that sexuality in general is a very fluid thing. Like I happen to be on the far end of the spectrum. I am fully lesbian. That is who I am. But like, it's really about energy, So like just sort of wherever you are, whether it be if you're going out or if you're just at the coffee shop or at the whatever, just like see what energies pull you, and like, what does that look like?
Yeah.
Yeah. Start there.
And look for your local lesbian meetups. There seems to be more and more. And if there isn't one,
of course,
make one.
Yeah. Start one.
Yeah.
Like there's apps, like I tell people all the time that like, yeah, dating apps are what they are, but you can also use them for friends and community if you want.
Yeah. There's often loads of like Sapphic meetups or activities hiking, just meeting in a coffee shop, music. There's so many. When you start looking, you'll find a pocket near
Yes.
you. Or again, like online in our comment sections.
Well, yes. And if you talk to many, many women over the pandemic and
Mm.
since then, TikTok, lesbian TikTok was
Lesbian
their
TikTok.
awakening.
There's a lady that splits logs with her axe. She followed me on Instagram. I nearly collapsed.
Oh, we follow each other too.
Yeah.
Nicole.
Nicole.
Yeah.
Start there. Start with the log splitting.
Yeah. The log split.
There's people who have accounts about the best books, best Sapphic books, best TV shows, best films. There, if you get on the right algorithm on TikTok, you will forget straight people exist.
Completely. Also, but with the Sapphic books, that's another good. Check out Sapphic literature. Read. There's so many great Sapphic authors. We should do a whole episode on that, to be honest.
We definitely will.
There's many Sapphic authors out there that have kind of like almost like the Sapphic rom-coms we wish we had. They're writing them, so find some of those authors, see if those stories kind of spark something in you.
There are audiobooks as well. And there's a few Sapphic kind of erotica like narration. What would you call it? Like audio websites with some saucy stories for women.
Have whole apps for that.
Yeah, there's apps. Check it out. I have a question someone sent us. How are you so accurately describing my life with your reels? Well, I'll go first. I didn't know that so many people would relate to my TikTok and Instagram reels. It's quite surprising. I thought certain things were only me, and that maybe that was, I like my own company. I like staying in. But yeah, it's been amazing to find out what people relate to, whether it's the videos where I'm sat. We both done where we used to be called manspreading, Sapphic spreading, should we call it? The way lesbians can't sit in a chair properly, carabiners, touching moss, being in the countryside. Yeah, all those things. By accident, realized so many people relate, and it kind of makes me feel, not that I'm alone, but like, oh, we're all very similar.
Yes, honestly, that's one of the most common comments that I get in my content is like, oh, so none of us have had a unique experience ever.
I love people write, I feel attacked, and I'm always like, I'm so sorry.
Yes. And I have a similar answer, really, because I would just start posting about a lot of like early nostalgic sort of Sapphic awakenings that you don't realize were until you're, later, and you're like, oh, wow, okay, Rachel Weisz and the Mummy, or whatever it was, Miss Honey. And I didn't realize, really, until I started posting about it, that everybody had the same, or many at least, like 80%. Had the same experience, and they're like, oh my, I thought it was just me that had a thing for Laura Dern in Jurassic Park. No, that was all of us.
And that's the thing we're hoping to achieve with this podcast. We do very short videos on social media, but with this podcast we can actually sit, deep dive, compare notes, and hopefully you'll be listening to this podcast going, oh my god, but also be inspired to watch new films and backtrack on Gillian's past work. Yeah, more to come on this podcast. We have a list that is so long of things that we're going to cover. So make sure that you are following us wherever you listen to your podcasts. Get involved. Make sure you're following us on social media. Alexi's at the Alexi Melvin. I'm at Jane Does Comedy. Our Instagram, where we'll put some pictures or images that relate to the podcast, is at thatssosapphicpod. And if you want to send in more questions for us, you can use our Gmail, thatssosapphicpodcast@gmail.com. And I'm excited to delve deep into, we've got so much more coming. Be excited. Thank you so much for listening to That's So Sapphic. And I've been Jane Postlethwaite.
I'm Alexi Melvin.
And we will speak to you next time. Bye.
Ain't it wild how a power suit can ruin your life? red hair, one stare, and suddenly you're rewatching X-Files every night. Trust no man, Kate said try women instead. She wasn't out, but she was loud, and now we're saying it proud. That's so sapphic. She wasn't out, but my heart was in. Rachel with a sword, that was my origin. Ain't it strange how the cannon forgot all the tension, all the heat, all